that time of the year again, brother.
That's right, brother.
Wrestle Kingdom, brother.
Wrestle Kingdom, brother.
Brother be brother.
Brother be brother.
Brother.
Wow. 2018's already here.
Already, man.
And we had our first show of the year, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what else can you get off with? Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom. All the way from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
You gotta think, I mean, I think we both agree that, like, New Japan Pro Wrestling probably, like, the cooler, like, the more hip wrestling to follow right now. Definitely, like, a little more more aggressive style.
I think the definition is, like, in its name. It's called pro wrestling for a reason.
Yes.
And that is professional wrestling.
They do have storylines. They do have, like, a lot of stuff going on, but the language barrier, a lot of times, I think, kind of, like, what changes a lot.
They don't have the, I guess, the entertainment value the Mount Olympus has, which is the WWE.
That's right. The Fed. And, you know, it's refreshing to see because, you know, like, there was actually, this year, there was some storyline stuff. You know, we talked before in some previous videos that you guys watched us on YouTube. By the way, of course, Happy New Year, everyone. M1, Pete the Savage, back at you guys. Honestly, we talked about the build of Jericho versus Omega, the Alpha.
Like, how awesome was that build all of last year? Really?
Absolutely. And Tanahashi against Jay White, there was this huge build-up of Switchblade coming to debut in New Japan. That was a big mystery. For a long period of time, a lot of people had guessed who they thought it was going to be, and it was a surprise that it ended up being Jay White. So really cool for him to make his New Japan debut on a night like Wrestle Kingdom. There was a lot of firsts. There was a lot of things going on. But like we said, normally it's about the wrestling. And, you know, we're just going to fresh off our
Wrestle
minds.
Kingdom.
Fresh off our minds because, I mean, I watched it live last night up until I just couldn't stay awake any longer. It aired at 11 p.m. West Coast time. We're out here in Vegas on a chilly night. So, you know, about like 2, 3 in the morning, I was like turning it in, and there was still
came on at midnight.
There were a couple more. I know there was a couple more matches left to go, and I was still like, I really got to sleep. So I caught it the next morning.
I was trying to watch it while I was at work. I was working graveyard.
Staying spoiler free, of course. Staying away from social media.
And my network cut out, and it was all, I gotta stay off Facebook.
Yeah. Definitely like some highlights for me, though. You know, just being one of those original super marks for the Bullet Club. It was great to see the Young Bucks take the titles off of Roppongi 3KC. Like last year they beat Roppongi Vice, and it was it was really interesting because it was actually I believe they lost to Roppongi Vice last year. I'm not sure. I just remember.
You and Gert covered it.
I know, but yeah, the Gurkalicious and I covered it last year. We actually had plans. We should have been watching this thing live. You should have been watching it with us, but unfortunately, old Gurkalicious got some scheduling conflicts, and you know
what could have been. Which we're hoping that this year we're going to be hosting a lot more live.
Yeah, that's something that I know. It's something that like you want to do. I know it's something that I'm definitely interested in. I'm thinking that's something that like you guys would all be interested in too, and do more like live, you know, the live event stuff because that's always fun. But you know, I caught the remainder of the event today after the day after the original live airing, and you know, still good. Somehow avoided all the social media and all the spoilers and everything. But highlights for me. Of course, it was awesome to see, like I said, the Young Bucks retaining. Guerrillas of Destiny came up short as we got Evil and Sonata. Go ahead and take that. At 49 years old, even though he loses, Minoru Suzuki is still probably the scariest man on the face of the planet.
Yes.
But, folks, if you didn't see it, he loses the match to Goto.
It's not good when he loses.
It's not good when he loses. It's scary.
No.
He leaves. He storms off. Then he comes back with his own chair. Because this is a hair match, takes the hair clippers away from Goto and then just shaves his own head. And this is after, like, you know, multiple. I mean, this guy's so scary with the way he does. You know, Goto's face looked like minced meat at one point in the match. It was commentary said it. There was that old slap fight going on, and you know, with the choking, and you know, we got to see him. We didn't go live, but we did see his match with Cody out here in Vegas with Ring of Honor. The first time in almost 25 years that. To see Suzuki in the United States.
Same thing, dude.
Same thing. Just a scary dude, and just, you know, I mean, like I said, that's a highlight for me. It was really cool to see Cody Rhodes take over what seemed like it was a small rivalry with Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. They have a lot of history behind each other, and it looked like maybe they were going to put something together. Didn't really quite happen, but here we get Cody stepping up and just in a really fun, awesome match against Kota Ibushi. The crossroads off the apron. Dude, that was nasty. And this, dude, okay. Just real quick, okay, forget about the match. Shout out to Wonder Woman, a.k.a. Brandy Rhodes. Oh my gosh. She looked amazing. She was awesome when she was talking to the camera during the intro. It was something really cool to see. She was talking trash to the camera. She called everybody, "You were just silly marks," she told everybody, and it was just awesome. She was part of the match and didn't really interfere too much. She did brush the leg of Ibushi a couple of times. It really didn't have anything to do with the actual outcome, in my opinion. But with Ibushi winning, it was really cool to see because it was still competitive. It was awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
So like I said, definitely a highlight for me. We watched the main events together just now. But before, you had some highlights. I know you really liked the Fatal 4-Way. Oh, yeah. Between, we got Kushida, Ospreay.
I know that's your favorite kind of wrestling.
Champion Marty Scurll.
The flippity dickety is like just, it's hot right now. It's white hot.
We talked about this before. I like a more grounded, like MMA style almost. The old school stuff, yes. I'm not saying that I'm trying to take anything away from Ospreay and those guys that do those difficult like aerial moves.
Flippity-dickety.
For me, flippity-dickety is just not exactly
Flippity-dickety.
Flippity-dickety. But yeah, Ospreay definitely is one of those guys that falls in that category of, he almost just looks like a Power Ranger. Like he should be in the Matrix. Like he should be in movies. Like just doing action scenes in movies. He should be a freaking movie star, this kid. Dude, I don't really think I think it's my favorite style of pro wrestling. But what an awesome match, like you said. So do you have any highlights off of that, or was it just you're going to defend your boy? Because I mean, I know, like honestly,
the taping was cool. I really liked the taping.
To keep. It
was cool. Like there is so many great spots, dude.
Tanahashi,
there's just so many great spots in that match.
Sorry.
I mean, I really can't choose one. Overall, that match was incredible. I mean,
so much had happened, and
I liked it more than the main event.
Really?
Yeah.
The main event?
The main event. I mean, when we talk main event, the main
we'll
event.
Get to those.
The main event is the last match of the night. We've established that.
Yes, but
we call the match before the main event the co-main event.
Yeah, but is the main event sometimes? Here's the thing.
We can call it the match of the night.
Certain matches,
match of the night.
Yeah, but if you're a title match for your promotion,
that's the main event.
Is the main event? So that was the main event. That's a. I don't know why we're getting confused. There's nothing to be confused on. Like I think we're both very clear on that. Very clear.
I don't know. It was just I liked it more than the main event.
So Ospreay ended up taking it. Actually, Marty Scurll had some cool tactics, like you said. He had trainer's tape, used some athletic tape to tape some guys out there. He actually had his fingers broken by Kushida, which was really funny because
all of them, dude, they were all over.
They were all over the place, and they did each other stuff to each other.
The way I can describe that match was Super Smash Brothers. That's what that match was. It was like watching Super Smash Brothers. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
WWE's had some success this past year in 2017 doing some Fatal 4-Ways, and of course Elimination Chambers coming up this year in Vegas, so that should be fun. That's always a cool match. But you never see a Fatal 4-Way or a Triple Threat, for that matter, in WWE with this kind of pace. Because, I mean, these guys were just, they couldn't stop.
They were everywhere.
It was non-stop, and it was I really enjoyed it, definitely. Like I said, I'm more of a fan of like guys like Zack Sabre Jr., who was victorious with his team earlier in the night. I like a more ground-based submission style, but wow, like the energy, the charisma, and just like the fact that this is a long show, folks. Like for real, if you've never watched Wrestle Kingdom, especially when you're trying to watch it live out here in the States, this is like a 6-hour show anyway. With the pre-show matches and with the Royal Rumble that they do, the Japanese Rumble style that they do. So it does go on, and so it's brutal to watch. But you put a match like this right in the middle, everybody is just fine. Go buy some popcorn, come back, and enjoy the next one because like this just like re-upped your attention.
After that, it just kept going, dude. Like that was after that match. Like everything was highlighted after that. I mean, after that, it was in the co-main event right after that, right? No, we had a couple matches before that. But we're just gonna skip right to the co-main event.
Co-main event.
Come on, that was.
We did mention earlier. No, sorry to cut you off because we will get to that. But we did mention earlier for you guys that the match that is right after that Fatal 4-Way, I believe, was Switchblade Jay White against Ace Tanahashi. Very cool match. Tana ended up taking it and winning, even though Jay White, first time ever seeing him, very cool, impressive, really tough, cool, charismatic gimmick, because in Japan, you don't have to speak too much. You just have that, you have those facial expressions, you have your outfit, you have your attitude, and that's what sets you off. So I think that's honestly, very cool. But, Tanahashi is basically the John Cena of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's always
absolutely
the ace. He's always been the ace. He's always very face guy. With the fans, people love him. They cry whenever he wrestles. He's amazing.
Yes.
So it was like a good showing for Jay White, aka Switchblade, but didn't come out with a victory. Tana keeps his gold and still keeps the good guys on the throne there. And like you said, cool segue. We talked about Switchblade and his look and everything. That was cool. Chris Jericho comes out first for the next match, the co-main event, the Alpha vs. Omega match. Came out to his own music.
The hype on this match was so real.
Judas by Fozzy was the music he came out to. And the hype with the light-up jacket. This was WrestleMania stuff. One of the names is escaping me.
Pyros.
But, the Pyros is going off. Kevin Kelly said, I believe it was Callis that said it on commentary, that
Pyros!
Brock Lesnar,
Pyros!
Chris Jericho, and one other name that I'm sorry I'm forgetting. I know that it's such an easy one, and I'm just forgetting it. But the only three men to ever headline Wrestle Kingdom and WrestleMania. So this is like a huge thing for Jericho. They put over that. He's beating The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. The first ever undisputed champion.
How many times do they say that, dude? And that's like really the most remarkable thing Chris Jericho has ever done in his career, really. I mean, you're putting over that Jericho was the Attitude Era. I mean, really.
Well, definitely.
He's an era within himself.
Well, he was the guy that, when I hear that from the commentary and from knowing the history, I hear that he was the guy that was able to unite the two eras because he was such a fixture in WCW.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when he debuted in '99 in WWE, WWF.
During a Rock promo.
Y2J showed up during the Rock promo. Yeah, and, so a legendary debut. So this is like two eras that he was able to put together, and he was the perfect choice for the undisputed champion once everything had come together and everybody had been bought out, and we needed one champ for all, and so I guess Jericho would have been probably the coolest choice. But getting back to the match, intros again. How cool was Kenny Omega coming out with the laser
Stargate
blaster, the Stargate, Guardian, this Amon Ra.
I love cosplay. I love cosplay
and video games. It was cool. It was like Overwatch meets Destiny meets Stargate meets. I don't even know, but Kenny Omega always finds a way to just be cooler than everybody else out there right now.
Always cooler than everybody else.
And so original, and so the match started off with, not only did Kenny look great, but
untraditional.
Jericho wants the Young Bucks thrown out ringside.
Ooh, he jumps in before the bell.
Match. Yeah, it was a no DQ match, and he's still, we talked about this, and I'm sure everybody will get a kick out of this, but I loved the build up to this match. I apologize to all the wrestling fans and the wrestling gods. I thought this match wasn't going to be very good because of the age, because of the status of his body, the years that Jericho's put in, his style. I don't know if it was going to translate. Kenny Omega's young, fast, strong. Wow, throw that out the window. Awesome match. I eat my words. Whatever. I'm so sorry. Ridiculous.
I'm telling you, dude.
I had a friend on
Jericho. It's Jericho, dude.
I had a good friend on social media.
He's the greatest of all time.
Send me a message, and he said that his case for being the greatest of all time only gets bigger every time he comes back and steps in the ring, because he always reinvents himself. He's always in the same in-ring style, same phrases even and whatnot as far as in the ring. Ask him Ask him, you know, like the classic Jericho, come on, baby, you know, like all that. But his look always changes. You know, he had the new hairdo, a little bit of different facial hair. You know, he always getting new tattoos and things like that. So, like, you never know what's going on with Jericho. And this is a guy that we looked it up. He's 47 years old. George Foreman was 47 years old when he won the heavyweight championship in Las Vegas off of Michael Moorer many, many years ago. And he's the oldest heavyweight champion in boxing history. And Chris Jericho out there again, like, proving that same type of legacy. Like, dude, like, I can go and compete and win championships, like, at any age. Whether it's in Japan, whether it's in Mexico, whether it's in WWE. Like, this is a guy that has that all style.
You still got it.
Still got it.
You still got it.
I never lost it, baby. When he returned, you remember when he said that? I never lost it. So, yeah, definitely cool. Brutal, hard-hitting stuff. There was blood.
Dude.
There was like, it was a no DQ match, so you would think there'd be
bloody
some
head,
weapons.
bloody mouth.
You've got broken tables. Kenny Omega absolutely taken out the broadcast table near the beginning of the match. That really gave Jericho a huge advantage. Jericho dominated most of the match, actually, with Kenny hitting.
It was like
70-30,
then like 90-10, and back down to 70-30. Dude,
Kenny definitely hit the cooler, like, faster-paced moves. You know, the dives, the flips on the outside. He missed a dive on the outside and went through the table. But, like, I guess you could
Jericho went through the table as well.
Jericho went through a table after he ate a V-trigger in the corner. And Jericho ate 4 or 5 V-triggers. Did not kick out of the One-Winged Angel the first time he got put up in it. And it looked like it was going to be delivered. Folks,
I love it when you put him back.
One of the sickest reversals you'll see. Jericho wisely just let Omega deliver the slam, but didn't take the slam. Just rolled through, got the legs up, and then boom, walls of Jericho, Lion Tamer style. Yeah, he even broke out the Lion Tamer with the knee on the back of the head. And this is just great stuff by Jericho, because normally Kenny Omega's a heel. If you don't watch a lot of Japanese wrestling, Kenny Omega is normally a heel. He's the leader of Bullet Club. He's the leader of the Elite. He's a bad guy.
Dude.
But Jericho came in there and took all that bad guy heat. And just Alpha versus Omega. It was really, again, I gotta eat my words, man. Do you have a spot of the match for that match or anything like that?
Man, so much happened. Both, like, table spots were good. I love that
really
he brought
had
out
a lot.
Lion
There was
Tamer.
a lot of content.
I love that.
When he mush-mouth red shoes and toss them halfway across the outside. There was really a lot of classic moments, folks.
The
If you get a
spot
chance
of the
to watch it,
night
this is
for
definitely
me,
an A+ match.
this was the spot of the night. This match was the spot of the night.
From entrance to the ending.
At the very end.
It was awesome to see Kenny Omega come out victorious.
I would love to see a rematch.
I don't know if they'll ever do that, but who knows? Chris Jericho seems to have the wrestling world by the grapefruits. So, yes, that was awesome, but we do have a little bit of time to actually touch on the actual main event. That was the main event for us and for most of the people that were invested in New Japan because of...
Well, it was one of the only times that we're watching events like
this. This is built, and this is one of the only stories that I build. All of it was in English, so, you know, everything was subtitled or whatnot for the Japanese fans, but it almost felt like this was cool. It was exclusively for us. Exclusively for, like, these outside New Japan fans.
You know what was big in 2017 was cross-promotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what this was. It was
Cody Rhodes, winning the Ring of Honor title and converting it into the ring and bringing the ring everywhere with him.
Even with
New Japan and Ring of Honor having the tournaments together.
No, even with Mayweather and McGregor, dude. Cross-promotion, man. I mean,
you're right. Yeah,
I mean, prior to that, you had Brock Lesnar coming back to UFC, then promoting SummerSlam. The cross promotion's hot, man.
That was important.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen at this Rumble?
We don't even know who's going to show up. There's some very bad.
Might be some secret lady.
We'll have to cover that a different time when we get to the Rumble. But yeah, there's some very badly kept secrets out there. Don't say it. I mean,
cross promotion.
Some people don't know.
Cross promotion is just super hot right now.
Yeah,
it really is.
So, as far as cross-promoting, getting the name New Japan out there even more, because people were already attracted as of last year with
G1 special coming to
Well,
America.
I'm not going to say it, but last year, G1 special. And at the beginning of the year, you had Omega and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom last year with the original 6-star match. Then their rematch, which is another 6-star match.
We covered that in the year in review. That's literally the best matches of the year.
And so there was already eyes. There was already eyes on New Japan because those guys were there. And then bringing a guy like Jericho, who's a legend and can still go.
Bullet Club, Bullet Club, Bullet Club.
For life. I probably should use the other.
It's bigger than NWO at this point. It really is. It's gotten to the same aspect of it.
It's a new era too, so
it's bigger than NWO.
Yeah,
because it's not. I guess really commercialized like it was back then. Because you had like Hogan, and then
there was Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone.
It didn't go to that. It's not going to.
We're not at that level. Stephen Amell though. Stephen Amell joined the Bullet Club, so that's.
But he can go.
Yeah. Dennis Rodman wasn't the worst wrestler ever. Neither was Karl Malone. Yeah.
Where are we getting off track there?
A little
Main
bit.
Main
event, folks. Tetsuya Naito against the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Okada
the chemistry and the psychology of this match was incredible.
This is an instant classic. Easily at the beginning, it really looked like they were starting off real slow, like they were kind of not really figuring it out. But as it progressed,
come on. How do you follow? Jericho and Omega. You really had it. Like, it's psychology. That's really what it comes down to.
That was something.
Comes down to psychology.
Something that I think that you would really agree with me on. Not to like put words in your mouth, but like when we said earlier, the main event was Jericho Omega.
For us.
That's why we tuned in. Now, we do also follow New Japan pretty religiously, so of course I want to see Naito and Okada. That's going to be an amazing match no matter what. But that was, for the outside fans, for the people that subscribed for one night only, that's what they were trying to see. They wanted to see Jericho and Omega. That's what they wanted to see. So this is like a little special treat at the end for a lot of casual New Japan fans.
Well, wrestling fans mainly, yeah. If you like pro wrestling.
If you like pro wrestling and not...
Pro wrestling.
Professional wrestling. But yeah, Okada reigns supreme. This guy is, again, like I've said it, and we were all kind of talking about it off camera before, very like reminiscent of like a young Randy Orton. Just real smooth.
He is New Japan's wrestling
real stoic, real smooth.
Randy
Orton.
Just... And dude, I already said it earlier, that's my dream match right now. That is almost my ultimate dream match, to see Orton and Okada go at it. Omega and Okada was great, but put Orton in there?
Would it ever be possible, with all the talent that has moved along and gone from New Japan to WWE, even guys from Ring of Honor to WWE,
because
is there ever going to be a crossover? Is there ever going to be another one night only? Could we get ROH fans in a WWE building and see ROH guys go up against, even if it's NXT? I think that was something, because so many NXT guys are from ROH right now.
NXT might
continue the ROH storylines in NXT at TakeOver.
Hey Trips H, hint, ROH versus NXT versus New Japan.
I got a lot of faith in Trips that he can make some stuff like that happen. Maybe not that exactly, but definitely like maybe sign somebody. Who knows? There's a lot of guys in New Japan.
That's money in the bank, dude, all day. Everyone across the world will watch that.
And of course, it's still being fresh in everybody's minds with how good these matches were and how big it is in Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom 12. Awesome. Tranqui. You actually look like Naito. You look like Naito. If you shave your beard, you would look like Naito. Dude, we should probably wrap it up right with that, actually. Yep. We don't want to scare the people too much.
Everyone here at the Wilber Club, everyone.
Happy 2018. Definitely.
Holding it up.
No, folks, thank you for joining us. M1, Pete the Savage is always here. Thank you for joining us. Here we're 1 year in. This is the official, so...
Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom 12. Like, comment, subscribe.
YouTubes and the Instagrams and the Facebook at TooSweet2Delete.
TooSweet2Delete.
That's it. Two brother me, brother.
Two brother me, brother. All right, brothers. Don't be deleted, brothers.